How's everyone doing today? I want to welcome you to the podcast. Here is my intro episode. I decided to do an episode instead of a trailer. I found all the trailers I listened to were pretty cringy, so I said, why not just do a full episode? It's probably going to be shorter than the other episodes that are going to be coming soon, but this is going to be an actual whole episode, not just a trailer, because I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. But welcome to Yours and Mine. This podcast. I'm Jasmine. I'm always going to be talking on here, so let's get familiar with each other. I am going to probably be having guests on here at some point. I'm not sure what point, but I probably will, just to mix it up a little bit. But I just want to introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Jasmine, and I decided to start this podcast because I have a lot of opinions. Anybody who knows me very well knows that about me. I have lots of opinions. Just ask my family. I will always be there just, arguing to the death of me about any topic. Not necessarily to be right, but just to, share what I think about some stuff. So that is the main reason I'm making this podcast. I always wanted to do it, and my boyfriend finally hyped me up enough. Not hyped me up, but he finally persuaded me to actually take action and start doing it, record, so I'm happy for that because now I'm finally doing it. And I'm not sure that I have a podcast voice because I honestly don't have the girliest voice of anybody out there. I've heard people with deeper voices than mine, but mine's not that girly. So you're going to have to get used to that. Also, something else to get used to is there's going to be lots of bruhs, lots of probably yos, stuff like that. I am from Houston, and like I said, I'm not that girly. So just expect lots of that. Lots of informal speaking also. Half the time I don't speak even full English. I'm fluent in English, yet I have sometimes problems with it. Sometimes I can't find my words. Sometimes I don't pronounce stuff right. Just get familiar with that because that is something to expect. Your girl is not perfect. She ain't perfect. So yeah, pretty much I want to get into the meaning of the name though. It is called Yours and Mine, and the reason it's called Yours and Mine is it is your opinion, it is my opinion, and we talk. That is the name. That's the reason for the name. So yeah, pretty much it's pretty straightforward, something simple. What do y'all think about Yours and Mine? I think it's pretty good. Any of the other names I had kind of seemed not as good as this one, so I went with Yours and Mine. I think it's a pretty good name. I do want to know your guys' opinions, so if there's a way to, I'm not really sure, contact me, comment. It depends on what platform you're listening to this on, but if you are on YouTube, you could comment, or I can make an email type of thing you can submit to where we could, have your opinions, have my opinions. So it's a little bit, it flows a little bit better that way, so we can kind of talk, So yeah, pretty much. And what I'm going to be talking about is just a whole bunch of different topics. I'm not really, going to stay on one topic. I don't have a niche, as people call it. I believe that's the right way to pronounce that word. It's pretty much everything, really, because I'm not really stuck on one thing. I'm always talking about and thinking about so much different stuff. So it is going to range from some pretty weird stuff to maybe some serious stuff. There's going to be topics about homeless people. But then, the next day it might be a topic about abortion. So, it's serious and not so serious. Although I'm not saying homeless people aren't serious. I'm saying my topics range from serious to not so serious. So yeah, that is pretty much what this podcast is going to be like. I do feel like I'm being interviewed. I really do. Tell me about yourself at a job interview. I suck at those. So I'm surprised that this is going okay so far because I've only had one job interview before, and that will be in a future episode, so please stay tuned if you want to hear my crazy stories about working a job because, oh my goodness, you want to hear that. But yeah, it does feel like I'm being interviewed, and I suck at talking about myself when it comes to that type of thing, tell me about yourself. No, I'm awful at that. But I did end up getting the job, so I guess it went pretty well. I also want to let you guys know all the platforms it's going to be on. So it will be on obviously the most popular ones, Apple, Spotify, Google, but I'm also going to be putting it on YouTube, Overcast, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So there's a wide array of stuff to listen to, you pick. There's lots. There's over 5. So whichever one you like the most, whatever is user friendly, whatever you got on your phone, that's what you can listen on. So I wanted to make it available as many places as possible. If you have any other suggestions, or I didn't list one that you personally listen to podcasts on, then I would love to hear that so I can add it on to whichever website that is. I'm out of breath over here. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for even listening to this first episode of me introducing myself. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much. It's gonna get pretty interesting, so I definitely encourage you guys to subscribe or follow this podcast. I'm not sure which one you do on how to follow me, but for sure make sure you stay connected. And if you have strong opinions like myself, if you like to talk about different stuff, you like to talk about topics that are controversial at some point, then I definitely think this podcast is for you. If you want to be open-minded, if you're an open-minded person, or if you're a closed-minded person, I think this could really help you out, because I'm always talking about stuff that is very controversial, like I said. So, maybe I can open your mind to new things. Maybe you can try some new stuff, anything like that. But that's pretty much it for this episode. I just want to introduce you guys to my podcast. This is Yours and Mine. I'm Jasmine, and I will be making these weekly every Tuesday, so expect an episode every Tuesday. I hope you guys come back. Make sure to follow or subscribe, whichever one on the platform you're listening to, and I'll see you guys next week.